You are afraid of transformation. And that's not actually the full truth. The reality is transformation is hard. Transformation is scary because what it does is it requires us to look at ourselves honestly. In many cases, that means we have to confront our past. And because we don't enjoy doing that particular thing, it's really easy for us to resist and do the work we need to do, keeping us away because of the fear of what we're going to uncover from that transformation. This week, what I have for you is I have a tapping phrase that I have added to my regular tapping sessions that have made a huge difference for me every single time I sit down to create transformation, to make sure I'm doing the work I actually need to be doing to create real, lasting change. This is Gene Monterastelli. Welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, recorded live to tape from Williamsburg in Brooklyn. This is episode 625, originally aired August 21st, 2024. Hi, everyone. I hope this finds you well wherever you are and whatever time of day you're getting a chance to listen to this. Thanks for spending a little time with me today. For me, the hardest part of transformation is confronting that past, because there are decisions that I've made, there are things that I've said, there are commitments that I've made that I've not lived up to others and myself that I just don't want to confront, because that's scary, that's disappointing. I have to look at the hard parts of my past experience. And there's a part of us that just wants to move forward and be in the moment and deal with what's in front of us. And we don't want to be caught in our past. So we don't want to be stuck in reruns where we're paying those past moments over and over again. But our past impacts us in this moment. We are carrying it with us. And there are parts of our past, if we haven't confronted them, even though we don't see them, they're still there. It's kind of like carrying a tuna fish sandwich that's 2 weeks old in your backpack. Even though you might not be able to see it, it is absolutely impacting your experience in this moment. And so for me, what I want to do is I want to make sure that I am engaging with the past in a way that is useful and helpful. And so in my tapping, what I've done is I've added a phrase that I love using that makes it so much easier for me to do that particular work. Now, I just mentioned tapping, and you might be in a circumstance where you have no idea what tapping is. Tapping is this absolutely amazing tool that I use every single day for my own issues. I use with my clients. It's a simple, easy tool. No matter where you are, you can use by yourself, applying in the moment to feel better. If you are interested in learning more about tapping, all you need to do is go to learn2tap.com. All you need to do is follow the arrow in the upper right-hand corner. That will take you to learn2tap.com. It will share the basics with you, making it super, super easy for you to integrate this amazing tool into your daily life. As we consider this idea of tapping for the things that are in the past and how transformation is scary, it requires us to look at ourselves honestly. And you've heard me say it over and over again. It's a real foundation of the work that I do. It's the idea from Milton Erickson that all transformation starts by stating what is. Now, most times when we're talking about that, we're making the statements about what we're feeling in this moment. I recognize the fact right now I am overwhelmed, I'm disappointed, whatever those emotional experiences are. But we also need to recognize how we are impacted by our past choices, because our past choices not only create where we stand, but they also help us to define ourselves. Because if I've been in a circumstance in the past where I have committed to do something and then I've failed to do it, there's now a little doubt in my subconscious mind. It's saying, boy, Gene, I don't know if you can trust yourself. You made a commitment before and you failed. The last thing you want to do is get your hopes up and have them dashed because you're unwilling to follow through. And so for me to tap and create true transformation from my past, I need to look at a lot of uncomfortable things. I need to look at the uncomfortable truths about my lives. I need to look at the actions I promised to take that I did not take. I need to think about the times where I didn't live up to my word, or I fell short, or I wasn't committed, and recognizing how those impact me in this particular moment. And like I said at the top of all of this, that's a hard thing to do. When I am sitting down to tap, when I am sitting down to create transformation in my life, no matter what tool that I'm using, when I'm sitting down to plan my future, something that I've been doing a lot of in my business, thinking about what the next year is going to hold, I want to be positive. I want to be upbeat. I want to be moving forward into this awesome stuff. But the reality is, I am dragging all of this past stuff with me. And the reality is, it's really easy to sit down and have a regular tapping practice where I'm only looking forward and I'm not recognizing what I'm pulling with me. And so I think I'm doing a great job by tapping. And so for me, I have introduced a really simple tapping phrase when I'm sitting down to do work. And I know I want to be honest about that work. And the phrase is, I give myself permission to be open to confronting uncomfortable truths today. Let me say that again. I give myself permission to be open to facing uncomfortable truths today. And when I do that, I'm saying out loud, I want to engage with the hard stuff. And we can actually multiply this phrase. It can now become, I give myself permission to be open to uncomfortable truths today, even though they are scary, they are overwhelming, they are disappointing, and I don't like knowing that about myself. But by stating it in that way, what I'm doing is I'm stepping into it, I'm really leaning into it. And we can even go a little further. I give myself permission to be open to uncomfortable truths today, even though they are scary and hard and overwhelming, because when I honestly look at what I am carrying with me and I heal my past that I'm carrying with me, it makes it so much easier for me to step into this in a powerful way. So I'm saying, I give myself permission to recognize there are uncomfortable truths that I'm going to address. And it's scary to do that thing. And I appreciate this is the reason why I'm doing it. And so it's always so much easier for me when I'm tapping, instead of saying, I'm open to these uncomfortable truths, but adding these pieces to it. I give myself permission to do it. So I'm allowing myself to step into something hard. I'm saying why I don't want to do that thing. Look at these uncomfortable truths because I'm going to discover all of this stuff. But then I say the reason why I'm doing it. And in doing this, it allows me to. And so by having this little formula and stepping into it in that way, I'm allowing myself to do it. I can even go, I am really scared of confronting uncomfortable truths about my past. I am afraid that I'm going to be overwhelmed and disappointed, and I'm going to unlock things that I don't want to know. But I give myself permission to be open to understanding the uncomfortable truths of my past. Even though they might be hard and painful and overwhelming, I am doing this because healing and being honest with my past is going to allow me to be fully present in what I'm doing in this particular moment. And so by giving myself permission and stating all of the details around this idea of my uncomfortable past or the uncomfortable truths from my past, makes it so much easier for me to do it. And we might append one last thing onto the end of this. And I give myself permission to do this in a way that is safe and healthy today so I'm not completely overwhelmed by it. So we're putting a little backstop on it so we're not just saying, unleash everything inside of that. But by framing it in that particular way, I'm saying what I'm afraid of. I'm giving myself permission to do it. I'm stating the thing that I want, face those uncomfortable truths. I'm saying why that is scary. I'm saying what the benefit is. And then I add, and I give myself permission only to go as far as I need to in doing this. You can see, just as I say that, because as I'm doing this right now, I'm not actually tapping along to it. I can feel my entire system decompressing just by tuning into that idea. Because the way I'm phrasing that is I'm letting myself know it is possible for me to do this work in a way that is going to be healthy, that's going to be useful, and that's going to be safe. So I would encourage you to give that a try. Go back to the tapping the phrases that I just did and tap along with them. Just listen to my words. You don't have to repeat them, but just hear them and tap along, and you will notice how much more willing you are to engage with healing and transformation. Now, if you enjoyed this little bit of a conversation, what I'd like to do, especially if you're listening to this when this first came out, I'd like to invite you to join us for the 30 Days of Tapping Mastery. So over the course of the 30 Days of Tapping Mastery, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking phrases like that, and we're going to be breaking them down. And in addition to getting a video training every single day, you're also going to be in a circumstance where there's going to be a workbook, where you're going to have reflection questions, you're going to have action items, and there's a community that is not Facebook that you're going to be able to join and share with other people in the process. And so what it's going to give you the opportunity to do, instead of taking one of the teachings like this from the podcast, you're going to be able to integrate it into your life so you can use it right away. And every single Saturday, we're going live on Zoom. Everybody who's participating in this is going to get a chance to do exactly that. If you'd like to join us, all you need to do is go to tappingqanda.com/30DTM. That's 30DTM, and that stands for 30 Days Tapping Mastery, because we're doing 30 Days of Tapping Mastery. tappingqanda.com/30DTM. We would love it if you joined us in the month of September, because it's going to be an opportunity for you to integrate all of these tools in amazing, powerful ways. As you look at the screen right now, you can see the entire history of the podcast. If you enjoyed this, click on that, dive into one of the other videos, and I look forward to talking with you and tapping with you again real soon.